it's just funny that these guys are talking about this when literally all they make is negative content that like gears people to hate their neighbor, to hate their fellow human being. Oh yeah, man, yeah, women hate you. They hate you, man. They just wanna fucking stomp on your balls, okay? That's what feminists want. That's what feminist. It's hatred all the way. Like it's brown people making society bad. It's women. It's trans people. Just over and over and over. And then they sit here and they're like, oh yeah, we're the virtuous ones. And it's actually women that are like hating on all the men, making the men all sad for no reason, when the government is in the middle of taking their rights away. I'll tell you what, let's react to this.
I think they are going to damage so many of us, including just women in general. I feel like they are.
Wrong. You are dangerous. In fact, you might be the most dangerous thing. Here's why. What she said was, men are dangerous and will hurt women. Now, she doesn't mean all men. She means only the men who she believes to have power over her in her country, presumably the United States from her accent. And we know that she's not talking about all men because she would never say something so unkind about, for example, illegal immigrants who are not dangerous. She can correct me herself if I got that wrong. Here's a map of travel safety by country. See all these different colors? Green is a top score.
Well, it's not that they're not dangerous across the board. It's just that on average, immigrants are less dangerous. All right, immigrants overall are less likely to be incarcerated. A 150-year historical study using U.S. Census incarceration data found immigrants have never been incarcerated at higher rates than U.S.-born citizens. Since 1960, immigrants have been about 60% less likely to be incarcerated. The Migration Policy Institute summarizes that immigrants, regardless of legal status, commit crimes at lower rates than native-born Americans. U.S.-born citizens are 10 times more likely to be incarcerated for weapon offenses, 5 times more likely for violent offenses, and 2 times more likely for property crimes. Wow. Wow, what an interesting statistic that is.
In 2013, here's an updated map. Most dangerous countries for women 2024. Darker is safer. United States, doing pretty good. And typically, the men who live in a country tend to protect the women who live in a country from anybody outside the country. That's how things go. So when she says...
I don't know anymore, man.
that men being empowered...
We got too many crackhead simps that are letting people in and people making... Actually, that's not even completely true. Because a lot of the people making the decisions are actually women. Like the judge, like women judges that are like causing a lot of this problem. It is a little bit of both, I'd say.
Is dangerous. It's not just false. It's anti-true. It's the opposite of true. But she doesn't care about that.
It's always just vibes with Leaflet. It's just vibes. There's never any data ever. Like, say what you will about me, right? I have commenters that are like, "Oh, you didn't cite the statistic for that thing that you said. You didn't cite all your sources for every little fucking thing that you said. Oh, you're just appealing to emotion. It's just vibes-based politics." Like, anybody that asks me to back up something specific, I will do it. Because most of the shit that I say it because I have read data about it in the past. Okay? And I will be willing to cite that for you if you leave it in my comments. Okay, but anyway, the reason I wanted to stop and talk about immigrants is because this person tried to sneakily, put that in there. Like, oh, well, she probably would defend immigrants when we say that they're violent. Well, yeah, she would. She would do that because we're sane people, and we understand that immigrants are not violent. In fact, relative to Americans, they are significantly less violent.
Doesn't even believe what she's saying. This is just a power game that she's playing. It's kind of like when women call each other 10s even though they don't believe it, and they're basically saying, "Oh, you're so beautiful all the way down there. Keep acting like a 10 so you're not competition for me." Men tend to seek power through open, direct competition. They just say, "This is the power I have," and then they clash. Women, on the other hand, tend to seek power by playing nice on the outside and being self-protective through strategies like appearing to be a victim. Women will often accuse men of hurting them or being about to hurt them so that everybody dog piles on those men and takes their power away, which then becomes her power. And even though this video is terribly...
Oh my god, this is perma-virgin shit. What the fuck, man? What are you doing with your life?
Low quality. It is also...
You realize with all of this time that you invested into talking about how women are whores, women only want Chad, women self-sabotage, yada yada, You literally could have just gone outside and found a girlfriend eventually. You could have done
it
that.
causes people to agree with her, which then leads to a group strategy of women all over the internet agreeing to say that men are bad and dangerous in order to take their power away, despite that they are doing a relatively good job. Persuasion is one of my favorite topics. It's all about using conscious strategies to influence the subconscious. Let's start with this one. I'll go through her video step by step to show why she's the problem.
I'm autistic, and I am so
Insta buff, man. At the very beginning of the it's like a encounter start action, you know.
tired of men.
Wow, let's
God.
file that in the no one asked folder. Next to astrological signs and pronouns, there's autism and hating men and who you want me to vote for.
Yeah,
TikTok
see,
has a lot of
that's why you're a no pussy haver. That's why you make videos like this, like what you're doing, and you don't even pretend to be into astrological
that kind
signs.
of stuff in it, and not a lot else. So why am I making this video if it's not important? Because these things become important when people pay attention to them, and that's what TikTok is.
Look, there are two kinds of men in the world. Okay, there are men that pretend to be interested in astrological signs, and there are no pussy havers. Okay, there's no
Attention-related
there's
dialogue,
no
by the way.
crossover.
The way it works is that you
There
see
is
something
zero
on your phone, and it
crossover,
makes you
I'm
go
telling
"Rawr,"
you.
because negative emotions make people respond more than positive ones, and then you project the raw onto whatever thing it is that you think is making you feel that way, and then sometimes you take an action, which is how engagement farming works. It's making people mad enough to go, what can I do about this situation? And you either might leave a comment, or in her case, make another
Absolutely
video that
nothing.
says, man bad. And of course, at no point does she question whether this fits into the world that she wants to create, or whether this is the right thing to do. So what else is in here?
I have a message I want to share with you guys. I want to share with you guys how I think men are super dangerous for society. I think they are going to damage so many of us, including just women in general.
So I put those in feelings and opinions. Men are dangerous, and men will hurt women. Now,
This is why they want to hang out with a bear. That's the reason why.
those might sound like objective claims because it is a fact that some men are dangerous and hurt a lot of things all the time. And it's a statistical certainty that some men will at some point in the future hurt some women. But the reason it's not a fact or an objective claim, what you said, is because there's just no details, like how many men do we need to worry about? What percentage of the set of men are dangerous?
how
is
many
it different
men?
from population
How
to
many?
population? Are there different kinds of men that are more or less dangerous that we need to worry about?
What is the
compared to women?
breakdown
What
of
about the
the-
damage that women do? Because remember, you're doing damage right now by spreading bad attitudes
Yep.
on the internet that make women lash out at men, and then that hurts men, and then that makes them lash out. And what about quantifying it? Is the damage
The one problem is that a lot of women see men as like these tanks that can just take damage like over and
What
over.
was that?
quantifying it? Is the damage
The one problem is that a lot of women see men as like women see men as
He. Really, bruh?
like these tanks that can just take damage like over and over again, and it's fine to just keep hurting them. We see it
that
all the
men
time.
do going up or down? Or you didn't really include any of this. You just sort of said, man bad. Got any more feelings?
I feel like they are not supportive of women's rights and who we are.
Okay,
does that
similarly,
even mean?
no evidence for this one. She even keeps saying I feel, which is helpful. I'm just going to put this here in case she says a fact at some point. She's not even defining what women's rights are or giving
Exactly.
examples.
Okay, is the woman in the video kind of doing like a vibes argument? Yes, but actually no. Because women are in danger at the legislative level, and it is largely because of men. It is because of who men vote for. Okay, white men overwhelmingly vote Republican every election. It is because the guys that are doing the writing of the legislation, they are men. It's a bunch of old white men in Congress. They're passing this shit, and it is harming
What is
women.
that?
It is
Supporting who
killing
they are, whatever
women.
That means?
I feel like they're taking over our country, and it's a men's world right now.
Whoa,
Yeah, they aren't taking over the country. They started the country and have continued to control the country. Okay, that is the reality. Okay, it's not like men took over. Men took over like women never had it, girl. The fuck are you talking about?
that's a pretty wacky one. They are taking over our country?
So like our as in like women's country? You mean like the one that according to them they had no rights in until they were able to vote? How'd that happen? So if men have all of the power and men have all of the physical force, how are women able to become how are they able to gain their ability to vote? How did that happen?
Am I a they? Am I invading America right now? That would be so embarrassing. Let's just put a they over there. And then she says that it's a men's world right now. And I gotta say, as long as we're doing feelings, it doesn't feel like it is. This went viral recently. I sent 100 applications as a
Yeah.
man and a woman.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Like, what he's saying is real. That is real shit. Okay, because I agree that it is a men's world, but I also agree that it doesn't feel like one as a man. Okay, and that's because it's not really a men's world, it's a few men's world. Okay, it is not our world. Okay, most men in this country, most white men, live in poverty They live, well, maybe not most live in poverty, but most people that live in poverty are white. Okay, men suffer immensely in this country. White men suffer immensely in this country. And yeah, a lot of leftists, they don't like talk about that. The libs, the libtards, they don't focus on that. And I think that that's a problem. Because they should talk about that. They should address it. They should constantly be telling these white men, like, hey, is white supremacy working out for you? Are you benefiting from all the brutalization that our government is doing against brown people, against women, against trans people, against people that are different from you? Because if you tell them that, the answer is always inevitably going to be, no, my life still sucks.
It's much better being a woman. And that's not exactly science, but it is a lot closer than anything you said. So apparently, this guy works in computer science, and he took his CV and changed the name to a female name, and then he applied to jobs with his real name, waited a while, and applied with the female name. Out of 100 applications, his male name got 7 responses,
Shit.
and out of 100 applications, his female name got 4.
I mean, that must be for DEI reasons, right? I mean, it must be. It's like the only reason.
That's
They're trying to
600
like hit some kind of quota or something, right? Because why else would you do that? If like you just need somebody for like that's good at the job, it doesn't make sense for you to limit yourself.
50% more likely. He even tried looking for working class jobs, and he got almost 9 times more responses. And this is more than 4 years old, and things have gotten worse. So since we're doing feelings, you started it.
What is your... This is 4 years old and things have gotten worse. Source? That's quite the assumption. Also, this is one anecdotal experience. This isn't like a... This isn't data. This isn't actual data. That is an incredibly small sample size. We don't know what region he was in. We don't even know if it's true. You're just like, oh yeah, this guy said this one thing, and I think it's true because it supports my worldview.
Feels like the last 20 years of my life.
worldview.
And some people might argue that the kind of job you can get is the primary determinant of how much of the world is yours. I checked around.
Although,
and other men-
that being said, it's computer science, so part of me kind of... Look, it's hard to get a job in comp sci. No, man, woman...
feel it
trans
too.
woman.
They feel very much not in control.
There's no
About
difference.
This many in less than a year, and these and these.
It's hard
on
for
Instagram. This
everyone.
actually took 2 weeks. So do our feelings matter, or just yours? Not that we need feelings when there are national hiring experiments that reveal a 2-to-1 preference for women. And here's a diversity study from LinkedIn saying that women are 16% more likely than men to get hired after applying to a job. 18% if it's a senior role. Doesn't feel like a man's world to me. What else you got?
I do not feel like men should be in control. I feel like the reason why we're in so many issues right now is because men have been in control.
So then issues come from men being in control. Okay, so according to you, let's fit that in here, according to feminism in general, men have been in control since the beginning of time, and they have been oppressive to everyone. And only recently, women have gotten freedom, and everything is going to get better forever. It's not true, it's a lie. Reality is a lot more complicated, but that is what all feminists say all the time. So if men have been in control since caveman times, here's another stupid fantasy about women hunting woolly mammoths from this piece of shit. And then we started gradually living in tents, and then castles, and then apartments, and now the world looks like this. Then where did all this stuff come from?
Yep.
Didn't it happen when men were in control? Have you ever been up the Space Needle? It's pretty cool. It's the opposite of having issues. So what are you even talking about? You've got no facts, and you can't even get your feelings straight.
Yeah, Space Needle, we built buildings so things are... Are you hearing yourself right now, man? This is so fucking dumb. This is just dumb. Women having more rights is not why society got worse. Also, women having more rights does not mean that women were in control. Okay, men have always been the ones that hold a majority, if not all, of the positions of power in this nation's history. During the bad times, during the good times, like, that's it. Okay? But recently, there has been a bit of a reversal in, progress. Okay, there's been quite a bit of regression when it comes to women having access to abortion, trans people having access to medical transitioning. That's it.
Great. We're taking over, but we already took over, and it was bad before, but it's bad
They love saying it's literally the Handmaid's Tale. We're literally living in the Handmaid's Tale, guys.
now, even though it's good now because you're getting freedom, but you don't have freedom because it's our world, even though you have all the advantages. This is all,
Have you seen have you seen that? Have you seen that shit? Look, if you're wondering why the libtards are saying like, oh, we're in the Handmaid's Tale, go fucking read it. Go watch it. Do whatever.
This is
I will
babbling
not.
idiocy. So why am I talking
Consume
about it?
that
Because
media.
the fact that it's stupid doesn't mean that it's not popular. That did better than it should have. Look at this crap. Can you imagine? Over here is a girl celebrating being mean to a guy who's good to her. 4.8
Holy
million.
crap.
Absolute brain rot. This is the quality of what most people send me on TikTok. That one looks pretty good. I can kind of tell from looking by now. So there's a lot of low quality content getting pumped out really fast, and a lot of it is persuasive. Here's Win Bigly again on short form. The basics are that we all think we're enlightened, and people who disagree with us just need better facts. But in reality, we make decisions first, more irrationally than we realize, and then we rationalize them later. So here are some objective claims for you. I put them in blue for boys. Low quality content is more popular than ever, and feelings are persuasive. They change people's minds. So that means that
That is
content
true,
like
though.
this, me giving my boyfriend a cruel attitude when he treats me like a princess, look at her go, uses feelings
It's so true how feelings and opinions just change people's minds, regardless of what the facts are.
to convince people of horse like this and this. Combine that with scrolling through TikTok, and your brain just doesn't have time to think about things on a rational level. You're just going feeling swipe. You're having reflexes and impulses, and like it or not, those are programming you. And they are having this effect on the world. They see the video, it gives them a feeling, they project it onto the world, and they have a reaction. Some of the reactions are to make more videos, which then are seen by more
I
people.
mean, it really is pretty awful too, because it's kind of gonna, like, that sort of mentality is gonna infect it can infect people that watch it. So whether that's infecting women and kind of skewing their perception of things, and then they treat men worse, or if like men watch it and then feel bad, either way, not only feel bad, but feel like it's hopeless. It causes damage in that way.
Causing more feelings, more projections, and more reactions, some of which are videos. And they are full of ass fat words.
Okay, I agree. I actually agree with the sentiment that Leaflet and this guy are saying here. It's just that... But that sentiment being... There's a lot of negativity on the internet, and it's not really good for people. Like, I think that there's a time and a place for negative content. A lot of my content is negative, okay? I react to these dipshits all day. But I think that my content provides value, okay? But that's not really what I'm talking about right now. You know, obviously I think that otherwise I wouldn't be making content. But anyway, it's just funny that these guys are talking about this when literally all they make is negative content that, like, gears people to hate their neighbor, to hate their fellow human being. Oh yeah, man, yeah, women hate you. They hate you, man. They just wanna fucking stomp on your balls, okay? That's what feminists want. That's what feminist. It's hatred all the way. Like, it's brown people making society bad. It's women. It's trans people. Just over and over and over. And then they sit here and they're like, oh yeah, we're the virtuous ones. And it's actually women that are like hating on all the men, making the men all sad for no reason, when the government is in the middle of taking their rights away.
Opposite from the truth lies
Yeah,
like
man.
these, and that's one of the primary ways that women get power, by making shit up while looking nice on the outside. And that's what is actually dangerous. You are telling harmful lies to convince mass numbers of women and weak and fearful men and other Democrats of the direct opposite of the truth, which might have something to do with this. Among young Americans aged 18 to 29, the men are maintaining a stable political orientation, while the women are getting more liberal, which often looks like this. Man bad
I
is just
wonder
part
why
of the
that
Democratic platform
is.
at this point, and that's despite the fact that man obviously not bad. Man doing a
Yo,
pretty
why are women becoming more radlib during a time where we are taking away their access to abortion, which means that a lot of them will die unnecessarily? Yeah, I wonder.
pretty good job compared
That's
to
a
some
head
places.
I
scratcher.
do not think men should continue to be in control of anything. I think men being in control of our country and the system is very dangerous for
The thing is the whole thing with men being in control too is there's nothing you can do about it. It's like, why are you even having this conversation? There's nothing you can do about it. Men are just stronger than women. It's just too bad.
our country and this.
What? Men are just stronger. There's nothing you could do about it. What the fuck are you talking about, man? This is an appeal to nature, okay? And unironically, I was talking about this the other day. This is also actual reification. She's saying that these institutions are natural. Men are in control of our institutions, and that's because it's natural and it's awesome, and there's nothing you can do about it. Well, history disagrees with you. Because institutions, they rise, they crumble, they fall, they dissolve, they're changed, okay? That's what happens throughout history. So this whole, like, it's always been like this, it will always be like this forever, that ain't true. It ain't ever been
the
true.
system moving forward. So I will continue to keep speaking out,
Dumbass.
continue sharing messages.
Please don't. Please stop sharing. And if not for me, then at least do it for the Peace and Security
please,
Index.
please
Well-
stop talking about how you feel about men in the old white men in your local Congress taking away your rights. Please
Yeah,
stop
racist?
talking
Mhm.
about
Yeah.
that. Fucking morons, man.